My dear brothers and sisters, accept seasonal greetings from me and my family. Last Sunday afternoon, I declared my candidacy for the position of MINCAM President. I also provided my manifesto that you can review at bbformincam.org. Today, I would like to address one statement with you and its applicability to the current race for the presidency of MINCAM. Actions speak louder than words. We say this often and even accept it as a fact, a truism, an aphorism. Why? Because actions truly speak louder than words. Before I get to how that applies to me and to your individual organizations and MINCAM as an entity, let me take a moment to do what I've done often, which is expressed my gratitude to our past presidents, beginning with Mr. Grebemba. In fact, when it comes to Mr. Grebemba, I don't think I have done enough to let him know how grateful I am as a person for his service. So, my dear brother Gabriel, thank you. Thank you, sir, for the leadership, sacrifices, devotion, and dedication to move MINCAM ahead. You ran for the position of MINCAM when the word MINCAM was anathema. In fact, MINCAM was so toxic that no one wanted to run. And you ran partially unchallenged. Why? Because no one wanted to do it. That is courage, my dear brother. If there is one thing that you have succeeded to do, it is your ability to make this organization palatable to the point that today there is a campaign going on and hopefully more candidates will join in. In fact, why not? Let's make this race enjoyable, exciting, vibrant. Today, please know that you have left your footprints on the shifting sand of time. And if you choose to run again for a second term, I will very much enjoy a debate with you and any other candidates who are running for this office. So, thank you for your thankless service. Thank you for remaining strong even when the odds against you were rather high. For all the past presidents, beginning with our founding president, Chief Ojiawo, thank you for your services to this organization. We are where we are today with an organization still available for us to clamor to become the president of it because you worked hard because of your singular and collective contributions. I was there with you all the way. And hopefully, if I'm humbled to be elected, you will be there for me. Please do refer to the website I created to showcase my manifesto for details of what we can do together. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Our CCC, the Cameroon Community Center. I guess the questions you may be asking is, what is Brendan's policy position? What qualifications, expertise, experience does he bring to the table? What makes him uniquely positioned to help us, the MINCAM electorate, believe that he will succeed to solve this problem? Because the Cameroon Community Center is a problem. It is the elephant in the room. What in local parlance is called the elephant on our backs. Basically, you will want to know, is it going to be more of the same? Anyhow, why don't we start with my background before answering the one fundamental question that plagues us today, which is to sell or not to sell. Now, let me ask you this. Why would you even want to listen to me talk about the Cameroon Community Center? So here is why. I have been there from the outset. For those of you who are not new to this community, for those of you who worked so hard to raise money, I was there with you. When the launch happened for us to look for a hall, at the time, there was no Bandana Square building. We were just beginning to look for a hall. I was there. When we had the opportunity to get this hall, I was there with you. In fact, many of you followed the organization that I had the privilege to lead, BEDU at the time. You followed us right to Eagle to raise money at the park. You drove distances to come so that we have a barbecue and raise money. We did that together. The first $3,000 that BEDU gave, we did that together. BEDU eventually added another $5,000, and we as individuals contributed. In your homes, in the parks, we were there together. So ask everybody, anyone who is running for MINCAM today, where we are there when we did this. And why should you listen to them? And I talk about the future of a building. They play very minimal roles in us procuring. So actions speak louder than words. In fact, very recently, our president, Mr. Gabriel, signed a tax receipt that was sent to me for my contributions to sustaining that building last year. In fact, I got that a couple of months ago, so that I can use that to file for my taxes. In fact, you all entrusted the care of that building to some of us. I was one of them. In the committee, the management committee that was set up to make the building again sustainable, to make the building again functional. So I have been there from trying to get the building right to trying to make it work for you. So yes, historically, I've been there all along. So why should you listen to me now? Why do I bring to the table? I think apart from my history, the other qualifications, the other things that make me uniquely positioned to work with you, devise the future that works for us, comes from what I do in my day job and what I have done as a member of the CCC Management Committee. Let me start by saying that in our society, in our community, the Cameroon community in Minnesota, we celebrate academic success. It is foundational to our very success in this country. So it's on that note that I would start by saying, I have a master's degree. I taught in Bemidji State University for a couple of years before eventually enrolling to the Hamlin School of Business, where I came out with an MBA. I also have an international business negotiation certification from the Hamlin Michel School of Law. What do I do currently, and how does it apply to my ability to help you help ourselves become a vibrant and a successful organization? Part of my current duties right now in a global organization, PCI Software Solutions, is a title that I was given when I joined the company. I was the Customer Success Business Development Manager. Quite a mouthful. What that meant really boiled down to my expertise with creating new businesses, new cross-sell opportunities for our business. But why did they even hire me to do that? Probably it goes back to when I was in business school, when I created the first company called Stamp Consulting with friends from our business school. We worked with our very first client that was involved in what is called ECA. This client based in Texas came to us to analyze their position in the market and determine whether they should sell the company or whether they should move on, whether they should continue to compete in the data analytics business space. Actually, the name of the company is Renew Data. It's a matter of record. So in 2013, we presented our findings to the CEO of Renew Data. I presented the findings on behalf of our business, Stamp Consulting. And the decision was for them to sell the business because they were not going to continue to survive profitably. And from that point of the presentation, 12 to 18 months later on, they prepped for the sale of the business. And in 2014, 2015, my dates are correct, Renew Data was sold. This is factual. This is expertise. So what can we do to help us determine the future of the CCC? Let's start with what we know. What we know today is that the CCC is an elephant on our backs. Because from the time we got this building, we have come to you continually to ask you to donate, to donate, to donate, to donate, and to donate. Every available opportunity or imagined opportunity or suspected opportunity to get grants that will help us make this building what it's probably supposed to be, to maximize this building, have not really come to fruition. That is what we know. Do we think that somehow continuous pursuit of grants to get this building and make it work will yield different fruits? That is the question. So, based on what we know, this building have not served the purpose for which it was intended. It was intended to be a hall. We looked for a hall and we wanted a hall that works for us. At this point in time, we seem to have been working for the building. So based on that, and these are just tangential reasons, this building has failed us. Can we sustain this building going forward? How much do we need to sustain this building going forward? Without doing what I do today in my business, which is called business process assessment. I do that in my day job. I work with small and medium-sized businesses, manufacturers, I want to be very specific, small and medium-sized manufacturers around the world. I collaborate with business unit leaders in America, in the US, not in Canada, in the UK, and I have collaborators in our Melbourne office in Australia that covers our Asiatic market. And there is one thing that I offer as a solution to emerging problems, and it is called the business process assessment, in which we do a top to bottom analysis. Look at the processes, look at the inefficiencies, look at the cash flow, look at how are they doing business, look at how are they using software to run the business, look at how are they using the expertise, which is the human expertise. Okay, look at the business position, look at where they want to get in 3 to 4 years, and look at the costs. And then weigh this between what is the strategic way forward. And then we provide short-term, long-term, medium-term ways to move forward. We do that right now. There is also another tool that we use called Customer Business Analysis, CBA. And that looks at just, we call that a surgical analysis of how to become agile, how to become profitable, how to become sustainable. If we were to apply any of these tools to this hall as it is, the outcome would be that this hall as it stands today is unsustainable for the Cameroon community. But for us to move forward, we do need data. What does the data tell us? In the past several years, one person who has continually provided data is Olivier Walker. In fact, I think in 2013, 2014, he did an analysis of just the taxes year over year. This is irrespective of the tax burden that we currently have. I mean, it was just an analysis of taxes and the ability to us to keep this building. And it was very clear that our source of income, which is events, would not be enough to sustain the building, to help us service our loan obligations or service our tax burden and render the service that the community really was looking for, which is just a hall. So what do we know? We know that this is an elephant in the room and that it hasn't served us. So my position in this would be, let's get a hall that is not the CCC. I'm emotionally involved, emotionally tied to the CCC because I also worked so hard for this to work, for us to move forward. Respecting our emotion is fantastic, but emotions have to be one thing, data has to be another. The way forward is not with the CCC. Now, how do we go about this? It's going to take all of us, the board, you, the people, working together to say, okay, how do we get rid sustainably of the CCC and get what I would rather call an event center, because that's what we need. An event center where you can have your events, where we can have birthday parties, cultural, organizational parties, fundraising parties, and celebrate our culture, celebrate the graduation events, celebrate ourselves, and do some additional programs that are outlined in my manifesto. An event center that follows the state code, with a kitchen that follows the state code, with bathrooms that follows the state code, that have entries and exits, all those things clearly, with a stage where we can have weddings and have a high table and things like that. And a center, an event center that goes back and gives back to you the promise that was made when cultural groups were promised, remember, that you will get one event for free. That was a promise. You will get at least annually one event for free. Of course, we cannot do that right now because this hall is unsustainable. We cannot afford to give you the use of a building that you own for free. That should tell you something. Now, if you choose to keep the building, how can we move forward with it? What is my position on that? I would say, after having worked as a member of the CCC Management Committee and successfully with these amazing individuals, make this hall functional, I would say that is a platform to move forward, in which we have a semi-independent unit that we already tested and it worked, that it becomes part of our constitution, set up as a separate functioning organ. We can do that with many instruments. We can do that as a subsidiary of MINCAM for tax purposes. There are many ways by which we can go about it. We wanted to keep this building. Even if we are going to sell this building and move to what I'm proposing, which is an event center in which the proceeds from the sale of the building are focused to getting us what we want. Eventually, we still want to figure out how are we going to run the event center such that we don't come back to you time and again to ask you for money. So yes, I can work with you just like I did before to raise money to buy this hall. I can work with you. I've demonstrated to you that we can work together to get things done. One thing you want to ask anybody who's coming to you to say, vote for me and I'll be your next president, is where were you when we did all of these things? Why don't we even say, not to go to actually just try to raise money from income, but when you, cultural organizations, hold your events, I can say that Brenda has been part of nearly every fundraiser that is done by cultural groups. I have come there I've been there with you. I have come there with a check from our organization. And you know that I always come with my own personal donation. A friend in need is a friend indeed. And I can say that I am proud to have been there with you. Whether it is helping the Gopetunya community actually raise money, even though I came as a guest, whether it is supporting my adopted home, the Liberian community, raise money as an invited MC, whether it is participating as your MC during fundraising opportunities, whether cultural opportunities, cultural engagement. I have been there with you. I am not dropping from outer space and saying, hey, can you work with me? I am simply saying, we've done it together and we can do it again. So my dear brothers and sisters, that it is time we apply business principles that have worked and that have made them work in corporate America to our organizations. Charity begins at home. If I cannot use my expertise that I'm now using to help other companies survive, succeed, and thrive, if I cannot bring that and apply them home being MINCAM, then I've done myself a disservice. I would love for an opportunity to chat with you, to share with you in detail my background, what we've done together, what we can do together, what the strategic position will be. Of course, it's going to be set by the board, but what my positions are on those issues, and how we can, what you could call the tactical deliverables, right, that will make it work. Beginning, set it up as a project from point A to point B to point C to point D. What are those distinct outcomes and timely deliverables that we can use as, you could call them guiding posts or check boxes along the way. So thank you. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for the opportunity that you continue to give, not just MINCAM to thrive, but your own children to grow up in a society that cares for one another. Have a good day. Bye-bye.